Good evening, and welcome to Daily Top Bulletin, bringing you the top 10 current affairs headlines in the most simple, clear, and exam-focused format for UPSC and competitive exams. Every headline is carefully selected to keep your preparation ahead of the competition. Let's begin with today's top 10 news. May 28, 2026. 1. Center notifies rules for VBG-RAM-G scheme with enhanced employment guarantee. What happened? The Union government released 8 draft rules for its revamped rural employment scheme, Vikas Bharat Guaranteed Rural Awas or Mazduri Yojana, VBG-RAM-G, earmarking 95,692.31 Indian rupees crore for FY 2026 to 27. Key facts to remember. Expansion increases guaranteed rural wage employment from 100 to 125 days per year. Seasonal pause incorporates a mandatory 60-day pause during peak agricultural sowing/harvesting seasons to preserve farm labor availability. Funding shift moves toward a performance-based top-down devolution formula, requiring states to bear a higher burden of excess expenditures. 2. Supreme Court upholds 28% GST on online gaming and validates state bans. What happened? A 2-judge bench delivered a landmark ruling clarifying the complex legal and fiscal landscape governing online betting and real money gaming networks in India. Key facts to remember. A legal position. The court rejected the rigid legal distinction between games of skill versus games of chance for taxation purposes, ruling that citizens hold no fundamental right to online gambling. Constitutional angle. Entry 34 of the State List 7 schedule empowers states to regulate or completely ban betting. The SC upheld that public health and social tranquility override commercial gaming interests. Security concern. The center highlighted that unregulated online gaming vectors risk integration with terror financing and money laundering. 3. Indian Railways approves India's first indigenous hydrogen fuel cell train. What happened? The Ministry of Railways formally approved a 10-car indigenous hydrogen fuel cell-based train set to pilot operations along the Jind, Sonipat section in Haryana. Key facts to remember. Strategic alignment directly supports the National Green Hydrogen Mission, which seeks to transform India into a clean energy production and export hub. Statutory clearances. The Petroleum and Explosives Safety Organization, PESO, granted safety clearance for compressed hydrogen storage, while the Research Designs and Standards Organization, RDSO, finalized operational guidelines. Macroeconomics. Swapping diesel infrastructure for hydrogen seeks to insulate the transport network from global energy shocks, given India's 85% crude oil import dependency. 4. 11th Quad Foreign Ministers meeting concludes in New Delhi. What happened? Chaired by India's External Affairs Minister, the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue (Quad) foreign ministers met in New Delhi to strengthen diplomatic and maritime security ties across the Indo-Pacific. Key facts to remember. Maritime security. India announced it will host the second edition of the Quad at Sea Ship Observer Mission to build interoperability among partner coast guards. Critical Minerals Initiative Framework. Partners pledge to mobilize up to $20 billion in public and private investments across Quad nations to secure critical mineral mining, processing, and recycling supply chains, decreasing reliance on monopoly choke points. 5. Participatory water budgeting implemented to combat rural groundwater depletion. What happened? Driven by severe groundwater extraction, the government has scaled up community-led participatory water budgeting frameworks across highly vulnerable agroecological zones. Key facts to remember. A core practice promotes decentralized local water accounting where villages assess total available water versus dynamic demand, including a rising livestock population, up 18% for cows. Policy challenge. The initiative directly targets the negative externalities of free or highly subsidized agricultural electricity, which historically incentivized unsustainable groundwater pumping. 6. India's seafood exports touch historic high of 72,325 Indian rupees crore in FY 26. What happened? The Marine Products Export Development Authority, PETA, released annual trade figures indicating a record-breaking surge in marine exports during the fiscal year 2025 to 26. Key facts to remember. Data point. Marine export earnings reached an all-time high of 72,325.82 Indian rupees crore, $8.28 billion USD. Volume. Export volume hit a historic high of 19.32 lakh metric tons, MT, reinforcing the blue economy's expanding footprint in India's agricultural export matrix. Institution. PETA is a statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, headquartered in Kochi, Kerala. 7. Indian firm Naib Group signs joint venture with Israel's Elbit Systems for propellants. What happened? Domestic defense manufacturing firm Naib Group entered a strategic joint venture, JV, with Israel-based Elbit Systems to produce advanced energetic materials and propellants within India. Key facts to remember. Policy alignment. Aligns with Atmanirbhar Bharat and the Make in India vision to indigenize technology in crucial defense subsectors. Strategic utility. Domestic manufacturing of raw military components like propellants limits dependency on foreign supply chains during active geopolitical friction. 8. Ministry of Social Justice launches PMAJY portal and companion mobile app. What happened? Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment launched dedicated digital platforms to entirely transition welfare administration from paper-based tracking to an end-to-end digital monitoring system. Key facts to remember. The scheme, PMAJY, Pradhan Mantri Anusukit Jati Abhyuday Yojana, is a centrally sponsored scheme aimed at poverty reduction and socio-economic development of scheduled caste (SC) dominated villages. A governance tool. The deployment utilizes digital public infrastructure, DPI, to facilitate real-time auditing, direct benefit transfers, DBT, and check leakages at the grassroots level. 9. It upgrades PM Wani framework to deepen last-mile digital inclusion. What happened? The Department of Telecommunications rolled out substantial ease-of-use upgrades to the Prime Minister's Wi-Fi access network interface, PM Wani, architecture. Key facts to remember. Technical reforms. Introduces standardized public hotspot identifiers, flexible micro-duration internet plans, and simplified QR-based laptop authentication. UPSC relevance. Serves as a prime example of open architecture public Wi-Fi ecosystems intended to close the digital divide and foster hyperlocal broadband retail entrepreneurship via public data offices/PDOs. 10. ICMR launches Patent Mitra platform, transfers 41 health technologies to industry. What happened? The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, held the Medical Innovations Patent Mitra, Innovators to Industry, I2I, Connect, in New Delhi to commercialize homegrown biomedical research. Key facts to remember. Action. Transferred 41 indigenous public health technologies, spanning low-cost medical diagnostic tools, vaccines, and biomedical equipment, directly to private sectors for mass production. Objective. Seeks to bridge the gap between academic clinical research and industrial scalability, lowering out-of-pocket healthcare expenditures for citizens. Thank you for tuning in to Daily Top Bulletin. Stay updated, stay prepared, and stay ahead in your UPSC and competitive exam journey. We'll be back tomorrow with another set of the day's most important current affairs headlines. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Good night, and see you in the next bulletin.